The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Puppy Food Bank. Every September, y'all, our community has an opportunity to impact the lives of shelter dogs in our area and beyond by donating to the Puppy Food Bank. Joining us now to talk about the importance of this organization is Executive Director Danielle Gunter, who also has some sweet little friends that she brought along with her. Danielle, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having all of us.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah. We're going to talk about the little friends we've got in just a second, but let's talk first about the Puppy Food Bank and how Pledge Month supports your mission. And by the way, this dog is really sweet and very happy. She's just kind of making little sweet little puppy noises, so she's okay.
So we are in year 3 of our organization being public and really supporting no-kill rescues, not only across Texas, but across the United States. We've been distributing dog and cat food. I always like to mention that because we do support our feline friends as well. And what really started out here in Texas kind of just came alive to go national just because of the fact that we were getting so many applications from across the United States, and we started getting donors from every state that we said we've got enough funding that we can really impact it. But what's really cool is that all the money that's raised in Texas stays in Texas. It doesn't go beyond, and that we know that that's very important to donors, and they want to make sure that who they're helping is local. We support a lot of rescues that are in Austin and their surrounding counties, which is fantastic because we know there's a huge population and a need for it. And every September we've been doing Pledge Month thanks to Thomas J. Henry. He likes to sponsor us, and he'll match up to $80,000. So It's a really good time right now. If you are not a current donor, you can be a one-time donor, you can be a monthly donor. And then it gets doubled, which is fantastic. We are gearing up for our puppy and kitten season. So a lot of the rescues will reach out to us and suddenly they've got 6 litters of puppies and they need formula or they need extra puppy food more than their normal orders. And so this money helps us not only support just our monthly expenses with the dog and cat food, but also to help with those emergency situations where we're getting called or there's a hoarding situation. But really, it's that coming up on puppy and kitten season, and we spend about $40,000 a month to support all of the rescues that we support.
Whoa.
So it's a huge impact that we're making during this Pledge Month that'll be able to help support about 4 months worth of dog food.
That is incredible. Okay. Yeah, you brought it up just a little bit there, but I do want to talk about why September is such a critical time for your organization. You basically told me off camera twice a year we kind of gear up because things are about to get a little bit hectic.
Yes, so always in the spring and then of course here in the fall, there's just, because animals are not spayed and neutered, it's what happens naturally. And then they get dumped because people weren't expecting litters. And it just becomes a huge, not only capacity crisis that the shelters are already facing, but now, they don't want to have to turn away dogs. Well, part of the way that they don't turn them away is that they have food. We know that the food is coming from us. They know they can take on those dogs. And then they've got, medical expenses and just really being able to kind of make sure that they can provide that support. And so we come in and we say, okay, we know it's kitten and puppy season. We're gearing up, we're ramping up. We know we're gonna have to provide extra dog food, extra puppy food, kitten food. There's sometimes even bottle fed babies. For example, he was a bottle fed baby. And so, Griffin. And so it's just really important that we're prepared for those situations. And we make sure that we have the funding needed for that.
That is awesome. Okay, so speaking of the sweet little dogs we have in front of us, Griffin, I feel bad. I called you a little girl.
Yes.
But he's a sweet little boy. And he is only, what, 8 weeks old?
8 weeks old,
Look at how teensy he is. Everybody
He is
so
a terrier
sweet.
mix. He was found in San Marcos on the side of a road, and he was a bottle-fed baby, and he's probably going to get about 15 to 20 pounds. They say that he's doing really, really good in his foster home with learning, kennel training and when to go potty, which is absolutely always a dream true with a puppy. But he really is adorable and so playful. And then we've got Mini Pearl here. She is 8 months, so she has kind of pretty much might get slightly bigger, but she was a stray that was found in South Austin, and she is also a terrier mix. And just, sweet. I haven't heard either one bark yet.
Face. Yeah.
Yes.
She's just very, happy to be hanging out with you, which is awesome.
And they're both from Love and Puppy Paws, which is here in Austin. They're a foster-based rescue that is no kill as well. And so they have fosters all the way from Austin down to Corpus, which is fantastic. And so we help support their fosters, and they're always looking for volunteers, always looking for fosters. So if you're not able to make a donation today to help support our Pledge Month, I encourage everybody to go check them out, check out our website, and see just other ways to get involved.
Absolutely, and they're a good example of one of your beneficiaries.
Yes.
So when you're looking for shelters to help, what are the criteria there?
So the biggest one is that we always make sure that they're a no-kill organization.
Sure.
And I know there's a lot of definitions out there, there's a lot of misconceptions, but if a dog is, physically able, doesn't have any type of history, and is overall a healthy dog, that you're not just, euthanizing to get rid of it and make more space. We want, every dog that is adoptable and healthy that can be adopted. Those are the rescues that we work with. We look for organizations that may not have, an entire staff to be able to constantly be out there hustling and finding funding to help pay for medical expenses or, dog food. And we really like these organizations that their biggest focus is just saving as many animals as possible. And so we are actually in our third year with Love and Puppy Paws, which is really exciting. We love the work that they do. They started out more as like a pit rescue, and now you can tell that they've evolved into other dogs as well. But the directors of the organization have just been absolutely fantastic, and they really are just about saving as many dogs as possible.
Okay, and I think you've touched on this, but the donations are so important because they directly impact these types of shelters.
So once the funding comes in, again, whether it's a monthly donation or a one-time donation, we then take that money and we directly ship out dog food to these rescues. So it's saving them time, saving them the hassle of trying to drive to a store. Let me figure out where we're getting our next shipment from, who has the best prices.
I was going to say, you also have economies of scale, which is something I always bring up in a nonprofit like this. You have the ability to buy food cheaper than they can get it on the open market.
And it really makes a bigger impact, because that $5 donation suddenly goes a lot further than if you were to go to the store and buy a bag of dog food yourself and take it to them. And really, it's just been such a grateful thing because, we've been supporting them, like I said, for 3 years, and they've been able then to focus that money into other avenues, which has been helpful, not just to them, but the other rescues that we support. Cool. And I know since May of 23, we've distributed more than half a million pounds of dog and cat food across the United States.
Wow.
So
that
we're
is
really
incredible.
excited about that.
Yeah, and the number just keeps growing. So thank you for what it is you do. And of course, these two little babies are adoptable, y'all. So Love and Puppy Paws here in Austin, that's where you want to look into for them. And how can people learn a little bit more about the Puppy Food Bank?
So viewers can go online to puppyfoodbank.org. You can make a donation. And again, it's going to be doubled up until the end of this month, thanks to Thomas J. Henry. So, whether it's $5 or $25 or more, it's all going to be doubled, which is really exciting and really just help us continue to support as many rescues as we can.
Okay, sounds good to me, Danielle. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for bringing these sweet little baby guys. Take this one home. Come on. They are so sweet. Help the Puppy Food Bank by going to puppyfoodbank.org, y'all. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Puppy Food Bank.